So this is rotational only, not touching your right stick. Right stick is the one that aims, by the way. So let's see. Okay.
So it's moving a little bit. It's not doing a full rotation. Moving. And it'll show you the Warzone version here, and then you'll tell there's a massive difference, actually.
It already looks like a pretty big difference, honestly. Yeah.
Warzone, his character turns 90 degrees.
Yeah. We are live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot Call of Duty podcast, episode number 469. Nice. Dinner for two. That's what I always say. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. Today I'm joined by...
Don't say that.
I'm joined by Tanner. Yeah, I don't like it either. And welcome to the show. Today, finally, kind of, at big asterisk, and in fact, let me start the timer because that's relevant for some of us still, unfortunately. Launch day of Black Ops 6, the new game. W. We will be playing soon. Now, today we have actually not quite as much as you guys may be expecting to talk about, but of course there are some things. We've gotten a blog post, our first ever set of patch notes for Black Ops 6. Hopefully in a long line of good patch notes to come. We will of course see. We do have some announcements as well. Stick around toward the end of the show for those. We have a lot of good announcements actually, so I would advise that even if you normally skip them. And use code Manscaped I've done it again. Use code Dropshot at manscaped.com, 20% off and free shipping. Now, with all of that said, we once again will be doing announcements at the end, but I want to dive right in here to the patch notes. Changes already in effect. So a couple things first. First of all, as usual, for some reason that I don't care to look into, Call of Duty is sort of live. If you are in New Zealand and or trick the game into thinking you're from New Zealand, you will have been able to play since 5 a.m. or whatever, 4 a.m. Pacific time on the 24th.
Yeah.
So today.
That's what they say.
Which is hours and hours and hours and hours before the official release, which will be 7 hours from now at the time of recording this. Now, we've done that before, and how it typically worked was all you need is one person to change their region to New Zealand and then launch the game. And then you wouldn't have to do it yourself. You would just have to join their lobby. It would put you in their party or join their party, whatever. And then you could stay in their party or even not stay in their party and just chill and play the game at your leisure. That does still work this year with the caveat that it does not work if you are on Battle.net or on Steam. So you can't play at all. There's no way around it, unfortunately, which I learned annoyingly this morning. So spoiler alert, Tanner and I have not played yet. It doesn't really matter because we weren't going to talk about our first impressions today regardless, and we will have played plenty by our next episode regardless. So not a huge deal, but for those of you on Battle.net or Steam, probably you guys all know by now, but it doesn't work. Now, if you are on PC and you're a real addict, you can get Game Pass for like a month and then just cancel it so you can play a couple hours early if you want. I think that's insane, but you can do it. And many people in our Discord, in fact, have chosen that route. However, you will have to re-download the game, even if you've already downloaded it through Steam or Battle.net, which is very weird. And you can't import your settings if you do it that way either, at least to my knowledge. So there's an option, But otherwise, you can just set your region in New Zealand, whatever. So anyways, that is that. Now, other than that, as far as housekeeping and kind of PSAs go, I don't really have any. I had expected to be able to play a little bit today so that we could have talked about the audio stuff and maybe some very shallow first impressions before Saturday. We have none. So by Saturday's episode, we'll have a lot more on that topic. I'm sure I'll have some PSAs on like set up this setting, change this fidelity cast filter, all that good stuff. That'll be coming on Saturday. So today what we're going to keep it to basically is just impressions we've gotten maybe from watching some streams, which I've done a little bit of, but honestly, it looks very similar to what I recall from the beta, even though things are different, and the patch notes. So with that said, I think we're just going to dive right in here. So they released this blog / patch notes. We will now be jumping into it.
Okay.
And it is called Call of Duty BO6 Preseason Patch Notes. This was released yesterday, in fact. Now, I'm not going to read all of this, but I did read all of this myself earlier so that I know what to skip and what not to skip. So they say a lot of words, big words. BO6 is almost here, blah, blah, blah. First of all, they talk about campaign. This I did not read before, actually, nor will I be reading it now.
Come on,
doesn't matter. I will, however, let you guys look at this picture of the campaign rewards. And you can see that there are rewards for doing the campaign.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And more, it says. So there's a finishing move, an operator skin, a loading screen, some weapon blueprints, which, I mean, if you're into that, I guess. They look cool, to be fair. And I will also say there are a total of 5 weapon blueprints you can get for doing the campaign. Not that that really matters, but what does matter is we have an example of 5 weapon blueprints, and we can kind of use these as a kind of omen for, that's not the right word, but you get it. This is an example of what we can expect this year in terms of the style, the art style of like weapon blueprints and maybe the game in general. And this looks exactly as I would expect based on like the calling cards and stuff we've already seen. Very colorful, very involved, very bold, and pretty cool looking, honestly. I'm kind of into most of these. I really like that Truth Serum one. That looks dope. Onyx Echo, looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you guys can expect for this year in terms of art style, which is not surprising, by the way, for a campaign, or a Treyarch game. They're usually the very bold, colorful ones.
Yeah.
So, anyway, there you go.
Well, that's that Marshall skin's actually dope too.
That is a cool skin, actually. Yeah, a smart jacket.
Yeah, that's a nice looking jacket.
Yeah.
He's a stylish little bud.
Yeah, he's very stylish.
Cool. Oh, you can get a finishing move, huh? Okay. I like the knife blueprint as well.
Yeah. So
those are cool.
Anyway, there you go. So now next is zombies. So there are a couple things worth noting here. Round-based zombies makes its return. Words, big words, intimidating words. Please note, this is relevant. The main quest and all side quests for both maps will not be enabled until 10 a.m. Pacific time on October 25th. So if you're like a zombies main and you really feel like you're missing out by not doing the New Zealand strat, you're kind of not, honestly, because you wouldn't be able to do any of the like story content for zombies anyway. And that is a large chunk of what progression you'd be wanting to do. So this is actually a good move from Activision, and I like it.
Yeah.
So if you're a zombies player, you are missing out the least of all. This is standard. Yeah. I just thought I'd remind you guys because I had forgotten.
I saw a bunch of zombies players talking about this 2 days ago. They were kind of pissed off that Treyarch hadn't made the announcement yet of when this stuff goes live. So I'm glad they put this out. They also tweeted about it before this blog post. So
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. So then they write some other words. And then they say this as well. The Zombies team has made a difficulty tuning pass to increase the difficulty starting at round 25 and beyond.
Okay,
Dare
like
Wonder
that.
Fizz will also only appear after round 25. Plan accordingly and prepare for launch. I'm assuming this is the Wonder Weapon, by the way.
No, that's that one perk machine where you can get all of them from the one machine. It's like the mystery box, but it's the perk machine type thing.
Got it.
So that's cool. That makes sense. You only get it after round 25. Yeah, I like that. I like hearing that it's more difficult after round 25 because we don't know what it was like before, but that's good. And this is something they'll constantly tweak throughout the game's life cycle is the difficulty. They'll probably tweak the difficulty another 3 times in the next month or so. So this is cool.
Yeah, this is good. Particularly the perk machine thing, actually, because like it starts to ramp up the difficulty at round 25. And then and only then do you get the like uber convenient all the perks from one spot. I think that's a good play. Because if you could get that perk machine, you know, round 10, it's like, okay, I have all my perks by round like 13 when it's still really easy. That would kind of trivialize it a lot. So I think that's a good change, having not played Zombies yet. So
yeah.
On that topic, looking to bank some whimsical gobblegums in game. You'll earn these by successfully completing an exfil at round 15 or higher. And then if you make it to 30 to 44, you get 2. And then if you make it round 45 or higher, you'll get 3. Now keep in mind, it's kind of weird that they specified the whimsical gobblegums, because these are the ones that don't really do anything. They like make zombies fart or something. They're not like real.
They're goofy, yeah.
They're
Your gun
goofy.
starts firing like, you know, it starts dripping cum out of the end of the barrel instead of shooting bullets. Yeah, stuff like that.
It's not like gameplay impactful, so it's weird that they included only the details on that, but maybe that's only the
I think
gobblegums
some of
you'll
them
get.
are good, aren't they? They're just also supposed to be like funny and dumb.
I think the whimsical ones are all entirely just not impactful. Other than cosmetically.
Let's do a quick search, because I thought one of them or some of them were like the ones where it like throws them at the ground after you kill them, then it can hurt other ones or something. Zombies killed fall straight up. Zombies killed experience extreme. Okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, these. Okay.
So anyway, all right. So that's it on zombies. Now multiplayer. This is going to be the meat and potatoes of this blog post. So they write up some more words, and then 33 weapons, weapon balance. So I'm going to read most of this. While many weapon balance changes have been implemented across the board since beta, we consider launch to be our day one baseline across the entire arsenal. Weapon balance is always ongoing, so we'll be evaluating data and feedback and sharing updates on this regularly. In the beta, so first of all, what they're saying there is, my understanding is, they did a ton of weapon balance from beta until now, but they're not going to list it all out because they don't consider those to be like official numbers. So they're starting here, and from here on out, they'll explain more later, is when they'll be showing exactly what changed for everything. That's a big reason why this blog post is actually, or these patch notes are actually not that long or detailed, is because they're just not telling us about things they've changed from beta till now in any granular detail at all. Although they are hitting, which is totally fine. I totally agree, because we wouldn't have covered it anyway. I would have said exactly what they wrote here. I'd be like, okay, well, I don't care to read you how a beta gun that you used twice got nerfed that you don't even remember using because it was a month ago. Like super doesn't matter. So they're just using this as day one because it is day one. So then they'll, going forward, they'll show like every little balance change. We'll get more into that though. So this one's very interesting as well. I posted it in Discord, and I am omega not surprised this happened. I'm a controller main now, by the way, so this is great for me to hear. In the multiplayer beta, we tested a change that disabled aim assist at close ranges. While this was a change in the right direction, we felt that this was a bit jarring when crossing that close range threshold, which was probably true. I played the beta on KBAM, but going from the sticky, disgusting Call of Duty aim assist to all of a sudden having literally none would feel very jarring. That would be exactly the word I would use. So I'm not surprised that they said that or that it felt that way. So
I have a video here if you want to show it, by the way.
Okay, yeah, link it. I'll show it in a second. So we've adjusted our approach to linearly interpolate aim assist strength. Those are two words that I know what they both mean. I don't know what they mean in this context. This means that AA will be much weaker at point blank ranges and smoothly increase in strength out to 2.8 meters. They say a short range. That's what the range was. I'm assuming that's what they mean here. We will, of course, continue to monitor and assess data and player feedback. So Tanner says he has a video. I will now...
in the notes there.
I will now look for it.
Where'd you put it? Underneath the blog
Got
post.
it. I will now click it,
there.
and I will now show it. So going back here. So this is launch day. Left stick only. So this is rotational only, not touching your right stick. Right stick is the one that aims, by the way. So let's see. Okay.
So it's moving a little bit.
It's
not doing a full rotation.
Moving.
And it'll show you the Warzone version here, and then you'll tell there's a massive difference, actually.
It already looks like a pretty big difference, honestly. Yeah.
Warzone, his character turns 90 degrees. You know? This is as you're sprinting by the guy at point blank range, he's moving maybe 20 degrees, 30 degrees. Warzone, it's actually like literally a full...
It's a full 90.
Rotation. It's crazy.
Yeah, like a literal full 90. It's kind of insane.
And I think this makes sense because I could imagine how that would feel jarring to go from having full aim assist at 2.9 meters to some guy then being at 2.7 meters and you have none. That would feel weird. So I get their reasoning for toning that down so it doesn't just cut off. I think a lot of people mentioned that during the beta, how it felt weird. I totally get that. What I saw some people saying, you know, like K-Band players, they're more like, well, hopefully they make this change instead like out to 6 meters, 8 meters, where the aim assist is not nearly as strong. And then as you get closer, it becomes even weaker. But it kind of just seems like instead of having no aim assist to full aim assist between those ranges, like in the beta, you go from having some aim assist to a lot better aim assist within those ranges.
Mm-hmm.
So just less jarring, but yeah.
Yeah. So I will say, having played a lot of both K-BAM and controller now, a lot of both of them, more K-BAM, this is absolutely a step in the right direction, just at a glance. Now, I have not played the game myself yet with this aim assist change or on controller at all yet, but I can imagine what this is going to feel like, and this is going to be good. This is going to be good for K-BAM players, certainly better than like other games were. And then also, it's going to be good for good controller players as well. Because remember, really, really disgusting aim assist is bad for very skilled controller players also, because then they will die to people who are much worse than them, who are also on controller, because they got like the lucky first shot and the aim assist did the rest for them. So like good controller players are frustrated at this too. So this is kind of good for everyone, except bad controller players, but it's not so nerfed like it was in beta at 2.8 meters that it's like unplayable or anything. It's going to take some getting used to, but I don't think it's going to be that difficult to get used to. And I think this is a good move. I don't expect them to change it any more than they have now, by the way. So they say like, we will of course continue to monitor and assess data and player feedback. That's cool. You're not changing this again. If you're changing it again in any way, you will further increase aim assist strength. But there's not going to be any more weakening of aim assist. I can virtually guarantee that. So if that's what you're worried about, settle down. It's not going to get worse than this. There's no chance. My very strong suspicion is they never mention it or change it at all again, period.
I don't think they nerf anything again from here. If we see any changes, it'll be a slight buff, probably.
Yep. 100p. So keep that in mind. Okay, so
just
next
fine. I'm
thing.
a zombies main.
Yeah. Yeah. Improved pistol and dedicated melee swap speeds. Good. Particularly the swap to pistol. Actually, particularly to both. Because remember, you have a dedicated melee weapon, and that's the way to move as quickly as possible. So, slight increase to weapon butt melee attack speeds. Okay. Adjustments to sway, bob, and overall weapon motions to improve point of aim when entering ADS. Now, I saw on Twitter today from True Game Data that this is just fake news. He had a sniper out, and he had some guy helping him, standing 20 meters away, not moving at all. And the tweet was like, I'm literally not moving my mouse, by the way. And every time I ADS, I'm aiming at a different part of the screen, often not on the guy I'm trying to shoot, which was the issue that we had on the launch of MW 3 that they fixed in the middle of MW 3. And then they just took a step backward again, it seems like, I guess. So this is fake news. So patch notes number 1 includes fake news, which is par for the course.
I am extremely confident, though, this will get fixed in the exact same way that Sledgehammer fixed it last year, and I'm not worried about it. I think this will be in pretty much a perfect spot by the Season 1 update when that takes place, yeah. Because he already made a video on it.
Yeah.
They'll for sure change this. This is very bad. Like, you ADS, and it's just all over the place, the sniper rifle. There's also an attachment, though, that helps with this. A lot that he pointed out. It's some sort of like steady aim laser. So if you are sniping and that's bugging you, how when you ADS, wherever your hip fire dot is, your hip fire reticle, once you're actually scoped in, it's not on that at all because the sway so much. There is some sort of idle sway attachment that you can put on that helps with it for now, but they'll for sure fix this. I'm not worried about it.
And in fact, to that point, they have a sub point right here under that bullet that says additional improvements coming in Season 1. So literally exactly what Tanner just said. And we know it's a sub point because this circle next to it is not filled in. All the other bullets are. So that's, I don't know why they formatted it this way, but yeah. So that's good. Yeah, I expect that to be fixed. But just to, point it out. And then improved depth of field across all weapons. I don't know what this means.
Okay.
So whatever.
I don't know exactly what it means either. All I know is I turn off depth of field immediately in every game I play. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, So yeah, it doesn't matter. So turn off depth of field. There's pro tip number 1. So movement is the next category. Added a toggle option for corner slicing. I'm 90% sure this is that thing where when you're ADS and approaching a corner, it automatically like sort of leans you.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of talked about how it's annoying. You can't turn it off and on. Now you can.
Yeah.
Unless this means something else, which I very highly doubt.
No, that's what it means.
Okay.
And they do say like it doesn't affect your aim, but I don't know, just slightly having your camera tilt when I don't want it to bug me. So I will definitely be turning this off. And I'm really glad they made this a setting because most people probably aren't bothered by this at all, but I'm not a huge fan of it. So
yeah. So there you go. Added an option to set the hold time to perform a dive to prone or slide, depending on your slide dive behavior setting. I can't parse what that means, but cool. More choice is always better. Added an intelligent movement option to set mantle assist angle from tight, medium, or wide. Turn that shit off. Doesn't matter. Use none of those. Multiplayer map adjustments is the next one. So they write some words like some of you might have already noticed. They have examples, so I'm just going to show the examples, and I'm going to read the bullet points. So on Skyline, they expanded the cover points around the hot tub at the center of the map. That's by far the biggest change. Added new planters as cover, and added multiple cover options throughout the map, and they show examples of all of them. So this is what it looks like before, and then here's what it looks like after. So you'll notice the hot tub is way better cover now at mid. And this is a big deal because... number 1, you want some cover in the dead center of your map, which is where this is. But number 2, this is also exactly where the B flag is. And probably where a hard point is as well, although I don't remember on that point. Actually, there is a hard point there. It's the first one. So having some cover there is a really good idea, especially if it's going to be B on dumb. So that's good. And then some other things as well.
What do you think about those chairs they changed out there, man? I kind of like the before chairs better.
Oh yeah, they
those
changed
lounge
the chairs.
You know,
Yeah.
Not a huge fan, honestly.
I did not
I
even
would
notice
love
that.
the lounge right there, but okay. I've received that.
The shorter, more standard chairs gives you more room to like run through without having to mantle. So I'm actually in favor
That's true,
of that
actually.
change.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like less than half the length. Doesn't
Yeah.
stick out as far, so that's cool.
Yeah. So the next one, this is a look at the, so this little AC unit, I think, is like some more cover here. So that's good.
Okay, yeah.
And
I
then
will be mounting that.
skyline. So here's the before and then after. You'll notice they made the planters bigger, right? And also they added them on the left side as well.
Yeah.
This is also very good because before you would like spawn here and it's pretty far down there. It's a pretty long lane.
Yeah.
So you could like not really see people super well and they could just start shooting you and you're kind of gibbled. Now there's some cover. So that's good.
Yeah.
And then this thing is the glass hallway in the skyline. You can see they added this janitorial cart here
rolling cart.
for some cover, which is good. So
and then on the far end of the hallway too, looks like they added a little trash can there.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, some cover there as well.
That's good. These are all very good changes for the map.
Yeah, yeah. Because you want to be able to, because before you couldn't really peek the hallway without just exposing yourself completely.
Yeah.
But now from either side, you can peek this hallway behind some cover.
Yeah.
So that if it's being held, you won't just instantly get melted necessarily. So next is Scud. Terrible map. Adjusted bullet pen values on the satellite dish panels to allow additional bullet pen. Very good change. Very good change because that spot was super cringe. And then made additional cover improvements throughout the map. So here you can see on top there's one panel. Now there are double panels. So you won't get penned nearly as easily. And that... Wait. Yeah, they made that a better spot, actually.
Yeah, no, they made it so you can bullet pen more. I'm not sure what this change is supposed to be honest. Yeah.
The first example, well, it looks like they double paneled part of it. So that's weird, but whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Here they moved the box by the C can.
Yeah, they changed some things around on the lower lane.
Yeah. Which...
Not anything super impactful there.
Well, they added this little box right here, the one on the corner. That's a good box to add. I don't know why they moved the other one by the C-can, but this one is a good one. So that's cool. And then here is the before of the Giga OP spot. And then after, some concrete is just completely blown out. So if you sit right here, you just don't have any hard cover at all. That's a good change for sure. So that's cool. Next is Rewind made cover improvements across multiple sight lines. So they added a car here. Terrible map, so it doesn't matter. Man. I'll be dodging it. What a vehicle, yeah. They also moved the angle of this truck. I didn't play enough of the beta to understand the relevance of this at all, but they also added some little cover back here. You can see right here.
Yeah, added some cover on another lane where that RV is.
Which is probably good. So that's cool. And then they added another box right here. So that's good too. And then here's another one. They added a pallet by the semi-truck and a little cone right here. Just a lot of like more little head glitch spots on very long lanes, which is probably good, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
so also with these on Scud and Skyline, when you look at the before and after images, the whole color scheme is a little bit different. Like they changed the skybox lighting.
Yeah.
In a good way. It seems improved. The visibility seems more clear. It doesn't seem so gray, blue, washed out. Because I remember thinking that in the beta, I'm like, these colors are not Treyarch colors. This game feels very dull and looks dull. We don't know if this is actually a gameplay change or just something they did for some reason in these screenshots. But Scud and Skyline, the skybox is definitely different in the before and after photos, and in the before and afters for Rewind, it's exactly the same, and that map already had really good lighting in my opinion. So they might have actually done a just total skybox update to a lot of the maps. Which would be good.
It does seem that way because it's completely unchanged on Rewind. You're right. which is a good thing, to be clear, because when we look at Skyline, the before is on the left and the after is on the right. I mean, which skybox looks better to you? Because to me, the after looks way better.
Yeah.
You can see it again here.
A lot better.
Like the after looks so much more clear and vibrant, which is good. And less it almost looks like there's like a sepia filter on before. So
it kind of looks like they took away some haze or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of looks like ass before. So that's good.
Shit looked like ass. Yeah.
100 emoji. So there you go. Audio is the next one. So we already talked about this on our last episode. They just kind of like go into it more here, but don't really care. Ricochet anti-cheat. We covered this on our latest Patreon episode. They say they're doing things. Okay. Who knows? We'll see. I haven't heard anyone complaining about cheaters yet though, so that's good. So Ricochet got an update. They're using some machine learning now, which could be really powerful if done well. So hopefully it is.
It's got to be smarter than the devs.
Yeah. And then adjustments for future weapon damage patch notes. So this was a good read as well. They're creating a new little table to like show patch notes. This is going to be really good for us specifically, and you guys by extension. They're establishing weapon damage range definitions for BO6 and Warzone Season 1 moving forward. So they have an example of the table here. And basically, this is what it's going to look like. This is just an example. So this is the C9. Instead of using like near damage, mid close damage, mid far damage, and far mid damage, and then far damage like they used to do, which was insane terminology as they've pointed out here, they're now using maximum damage range, medium damage range 1, 2, and 3 if required, because some don't have all that many damage ranges, and then minimum damage range. This is infinitely more clear. So that's good. And then they're going to put them all in tables like this to show the pre-patch and post-patch values. So you can see the damage is the same. And then where things change, like medium damage range 2, the range was increased. So they bold it and they put a little up arrow next to it, which is dope. I'm a fan of this.
Yeah, I like this as well.
So that's really good. It's going to make a lot easier for us. And then a weapon damage range explainer. So they explain what maximum damage range, medium, and minimum damage range means, which I don't think I need to explain to you guys. Maximum damage range outlines the maximum potential damage a weapon can output in a single shot up to whatever distance it is within max damage range. For those of you who might be confused by thinking, well, a max damage range shot is going to be a headshot at 0.1 meters. No, it's going to be a shot to whatever part of the body has a 1.0 multiplier. That's what maximum damage value will be. So if the C9's max damage, if the C9 does 29 damage in its max damage range, that means from 0 to 12.7 meters, if you shoot someone at a location that gives you a 1.0 multiplier, it will do 29 damage. So a headshot probably has a 1.1 or something damage range, or multiplier, excuse me. So then if it's in the max damage range, it would be 29 times 1.1. So it would be what, 31 or 32. I don't know how they round. So that's how that works. So now like I fully understand what all this stuff means, which is good. One last thing they say. As we progress through our future seasons, the teams at Treyarch and Raven will adjust weapons based on feedback and data to deliver the best experiences possible for multiplayer and Warzone respectively. These adjustments may include shared BO6 weapons having different damage range values between titles.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for future updates. So this is a very good thing because we want to be able to tune weapons independently. Most of the time in the past, they have ended up doing this, but I do remember, I don't remember what game it was, but I remember covering it on this program. they were not like willing to do this for a while, and it made weapon balancing very challenging for them because they insisted on having the stats be the same in multiplayer and Warzone. That's gone now, which is good. However, they do say these adjustments may include shared BO6 weapons having different damage range values between titles. Now, if I took this very autistically and literally, I would say, does that mean the only thing that could be different between the two is damage range? Or will this also include actual damage values, actual whatever, ADS time values, etc.? Because if it was just stats in general, that would I feel like they should have said that. But they said specifically damage range.
Yeah.
That's a little concerning.
Which will be quite a bit different. Well, I don't know if it really matters. It'll be quite a bit different for Warzone this year, though, compared to what we've been used to, because the headshot multipliers. So BO6 multiplayer does not have a large headshot multiplier, which means if they literally just change things like damage range values, then Warzone also will have very little headshot multiplier damage in this game, which will be different than what we're used to right now.
True. Yeah, true.
And I think, by the way, I think it was the launch of Warzone 2. I think it was Moz. Didn't that whole year they kept all of the weapon balance the same? I think, wasn't that the year they didn't want to change anything to do with values between the two games? I think it was.
Maybe. I won't remember, bro. I don't know. But it could be. Could have been.
Yeah. But yeah, this is good to hear that they will be, at least adjusting damage range. And it'll probably end up being other things, yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be. If necessary, which it probably would be. The thing that would be most necessary would be damage range values, though, so I don't know. But anyways, that's it for the patch notes. So there was... I mean... That was a lot, frankly, for a patch that we got from beta till now. Excuse me. For them to talk about. And all of it sounds pretty good. The map changes are good. The weapon balance they didn't get into. There's for sure overpowered guns right now in multiplayer. But I didn't expect them to figure that out before launching the game. So that's not a big deal. And especially early on in every COD game's life cycle, they get on top of that stuff very quickly. So if something is like really OP right now, it'll be nerfed literally tomorrow. Like, I'm not kidding. So not super worried about weapon balance at all. And then the map adjustments are good. And other than that, I'm very excited to try the audio. I have not like watched a stream with headphones on because I'll just wait till tomorrow, and I'll wait till Saturday to talk about audio. But I will say, on the topic of audio, I've not seen anyone whining about it, which is a very good thing. So it's at least not egregiously bad like it was weekend 1 of the beta. So that's a good sign, but we'll talk more about it on Saturday when we have played. And then the same, I would say, for Ricochet. I haven't heard anyone bitching about cheaters yet, so that's a good sign as well. And then
none of them are online yet.
Yeah, they're just waking up right now. So other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Not too much to cover there in terms of patch notes. There will almost certainly be another patch before Saturday, because there are probably problems that no one knows about or not many people know about yet. They'll fix them quickly. I'm not super concerned about it, and I'm very excited to play. I just wish I could do the little New Zealand strat, or better yet, don't let anyone play until everyone can play at the same time. That would have been ideal.
It just kills the hype every year. That's also why I haven't been looking too closely at Twitter. I haven't watched any gameplay. I want to just play it myself. It really just kills the launch of the game, in my opinion, when one region gets it. I mean, how many hours in advance do you get it? A long time. More than 12 hours in advance. And then people do this and they're able to get it, and I don't know. But I will say, I actually am honestly glad that they fixed the joining off people, because then just like everyone on PC was playing it too. Now it does kind of seem like not that many people are playing it. Not that many people are playing it early compared to last year, at least. So I think the average, PC player and also the average casual console player, they're not going to be playing till 9 o'clock tonight. So I think that's good.
Yeah, I agree. It's
the only
definitely
people doing this are like the super sweater, absolute nerds. Most people don't even know this exists because they don't live on Twitter, so they have no clue this is even possible.
Right. Exactly.
From work, turn on the Xbox and try to launch.
Yeah. So, all right. So other than that, we have a couple other things to get into here before we sign off. First are a couple tweets from @COD Updates. A minor update has been deployed and is currently rolling out on all platforms. Addressed an issue that prevented some players from setting zombie builds. Addressed an issue that removed camos from weapon builds. Just an issue where players would not receive a prompt to install multiplayer. And an issue where players would sometimes see various stats in global leaderboards as 0 values. A fix for friend leaderboards is in the works. So, nothing groundbreaking there, but there you go. And then also, Payback has been removed from the Hardpoint playlist map rotation while we investigate a spawn issue. That's another thing I have not heard people complaining about, is bad spawns, which is surprising. Doesn't matter either way, but because if they were bad or if they are bad, they'll fix them very quickly. But
I think they're terrible. Yeah, people in our Discord
really?
Have complained about. And actually, when you had Metaphor open, just for the few minutes we were watching him, some guy just spawned in his reticle and he started laughing.
Okay, never mind.
Dude, this guy just spawned literally right in front of. They're awful. Yeah, they might get better. We'll see.
They pretty much always do at some point, but we'll see how long it takes. Yeah. So cool. It's been going in and out. Yeah. So other than that, the only other thing I'll say, and I will save most of this for Saturday, is that the maps, again, I haven't seen anyone talking about them regardless, other than Charlie Intel saying, yeah, that one map is really bad for Kuda or something. I don't know what that is.
Something
but
like that.
Saying that map is really bad. Other than that, I haven't really heard anything. So I don't know. And from me having watched quite a few streams this morning and this afternoon, they look fine, but pretty underwhelming. Although, honestly, I was kind of not expecting much because I played the beta and then we saw little screenshots of all the maps and we were like, some of these look like they maybe could be good, but nothing has blown my socks off. Although, again, I haven't played, but, I don't know. Yeah. I'm not super optimistic about the maps being really awesome this year. But again, we're getting Nuketown very soon, so I don't really care. And also, I could be wrong. I haven't played them yet. At least the ones not
Nuketown,
in the beta.
I forgot. Yeah. Which means nothing matters because Nuketown will be out
exactly.
next Friday. Hell yeah, I'm so excited for Nuketown.
That'll be sick.
I'll be done with the camo grind by then, though, so I don't know. I might just be done playing by that point,
Yeah, and 100 headshots, by the way, like we talked about, is in fact a lot.
It's going to take a while. Yeah.
Metaphor was bitching about it. He's like, dude, this is crazy. Like, this is a long time. And he's on K-BAM and very good and playing hardcore. So if he's complaining about it taking a while, good luck, average controller player. That's going to be a long time. Long road.
Are you doing the grind? You just not going to speed run it, or what's your plan there?
I think I'm going to go for it. Although I don't know how hard it is to get headshots on controller. I've never done that in multiplayer. So we'll see. But if you're going to go for them, you should start right away while everyone else is also trying to go for headshots. Because once people start getting that camo done and then they just start center massing you, it's going to be a lot harder to be headshotting everything when no one else is trying to. So keep that in mind. If you're going to go for it, decide now and get started. So anyway, that's pretty much it. We will be back on Saturday for our first impressions. We will have a lot more to say, and we will almost certainly have, like I just mentioned, more developments to talk about in terms of the game having changed, because it will change again. They'll do little micro updates like they have already talked about. From now until Saturday for sure. So we'll talk about those as they come. That's going to be this Saturday. I'm very excited for that episode. Now, before we go, a couple of announcements. First and foremost, welcome to our new gold patrons, Ray G, Waddle Vision, kind of like that, Dan L, Tommy, and then Phil, aka Tunfish Bloom. Got it. Don't know what that is. And last, and my favorite name, in all caps, of course, Evildoer. Got it. Our new gold patrons, welcome, boys. We appreciate you. Patreon.com/thedropshot. And then we also got a better person than everyone we just mentioned, a new Damascus. Chad. Welcome to the lounge, Jonathan L. Johnny Boy. John JL.
Johnny Boy.
As I
What's
always
up, Johnny?
say. What up, Johnny?
You do say that a lot, yeah.
I do say that a lot. Yeah, join the Discord, link your account, and then join the Damascus Lounge. It's poppin'. And thank you, King. Now, patreon.com/thedropshot. Speaking of which, we have put out in the last 2 days 2 fire Patreon bonus episodes relating to BO6. One of them, which I think is very relevant right now, is the best BO6 loadout possible. Now, you might be wondering, how do you know that when you haven't even played the game yet? Well, great question, because we can read. So they had done blog posts, one of which was on weapons and attachments, and then the more meaty one was on perks, equipment, perks, field upgrades, and stuff like that. And going through like all the perks and field upgrades and wild cards, it is very easy to tell what the best create a class setup is, like objectively, period. And it's not hard to figure out, honestly, for us anyway. For you guys, it might be, which is why you would want to go listen to that episode. Because kind of unfortunately, it's a pretty cookie cutter like class setup that everyone's going to be kind of figuring out here soon.
Yeah.
Unlike MW3, which it was like real trade-offs and stuff, there are no trade-offs in terms of perks and wild cards and field upgrades in this game. There's none. There's just an optimal class for respawn, and then you might want to change it if you're like playing search and destroy. That's kind of it. It's kind of that simple. We went into a lot of detail and explained why that is in that latest Patreon bonus episode. And then the day before that, we had done one going over the progression system, the prestige system, the rewards, the customization, the showcase, all that kind of stuff. And that, and the mastery badges and stuff, that was very pleasantly surprising. So that was a really cool episode to do as well. So if you don't feel like, reading all that stuff, and, we obviously have some insights that go beyond the words written on the page because we've been playing for so long, I would say both of those are definitely worth a listen. For all of our patrons, that's available to right now. But in particular, I would say check out the latest one, which is the best class in BO6. I named it something like that because it was, in my opinion, very helpful, very informative. How did you enjoy those two, man?
Yeah, they were solid. Solid little prep episodes. Everyone seemed to like them too.
Yeah.
Got the hype flowing for sure.
Got the hype going. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, and then that's pretty much it. So yeah, we will see you guys on Saturday. Use code DROPSHOT at manscaped.com, 20% off and free shipping. We really need your help this month, guys. So if you haven't, because no one's been saying anything in the cord. So use it and tell us you did it in the cord. And you'll get a special secret surprise reward.
Oh, are you going to give it to him finally?
I think I might give it to him finally. Yeah. And if you want to know what that is, you're going to have to use code DROPSHOT at manscaped.com, 20% off and free shipping. And we'll see you Saturday. Stay humble.
Yeah, stay humble.